you very much for joining me. I just finished a lovely little chat with a medium by the name of Karina Lakshmi. And what I really wanted to be able to talk further about this is to emphasize that we are all souls having this human experience. And we're always, there's a part of us that is connected with divinity. As a soul, we have this spark of divine within us. And this spark of divine is always connected to the greater aspect of the divine, to source. There's always that connection. What's significant is for us to be able to understand is that we're having this human experience, but as the part of the divine, we have embodied within us certain gifts, certain abilities, and we have it is our birthright. We are a divine being, and as such, we have been bestowed upon our Creator these divine gifts that are going to be able to help us navigate through our earthly experience. I find it very interesting to be able to sort of think that the people within our life, that there is a higher purpose to it, that our children that are born into our lives, that they have chosen this soul path, that there is a soul contract that has guided them to this particular experience. And I do believe that we just don't always know. Of course, we don't know. We don't know all of our contracts, right? So that's sort of hidden within our consciousness, but our higher self is always aware. So the more that we start to become aware of our higher self and to be able to connect with our higher self and with divinity, then we become enlightened and we start to understand and see things from a higher perspective. But when we are really immersed within this human experience, we may not have any awareness whatsoever that we are, in fact, having an experience that is meant to help us grow, and it's meant to help us connect with our own spiritual gifts. And ultimately, I really do believe that we are meant to help others. I believe that very strongly, that we have experiences that are meant to grow our soul. And we may hear this refrain commonly in the spiritual community, is that in order to have light, we must experience darkness. And I have found it to be very true that many people in the spiritual community, whether they become mediums or they're healers or just going through their own grief process and then wanting to be able to help others with their grieving, that things are placed in our lives in order to help us grow, and ultimately in order to be able to help others, to be able to be of service. And I feel that that's key, to recognize that we are all meant to be of service to one another and to be of service to the divine. We're meant to be God's hands. We're meant to be God's ears and eyes. And in fact, we are God's ears and eyes and hands. And we're just not fully aware of it. We're not fully conscious of that because we're still very much immersed in this human experience. So it's always very surprising to me. I shouldn't say surprising. It's awesome to hear how people have gone through their healing experience with loss and discovered mediumship, discovered how spirit has been guiding them. If you have lost a loved one and are experiencing a significant amount of grief, just know that your loved ones continue to live on in the other world. A lot of times I hear people say, like, I haven't had any signs from my loved one, or I haven't had a dream visitation. And why is this? And I really do believe it's because that lower vibration, that heavier vibration of energy with that emotion is acting like a curtain to be able to have that experience. So it sort of shields us from that experience because it's such a low, heavier vibration. But as we start to move through the grief process and release some of these heavier emotions, then we're able to sense and feel and see spirit more. We're able to be more open to those signs and synchronicities that spirit's sending us. So I thank you for joining us today. And if you have the opportunity, if you haven't already done so, tune into that interview with Corinna. And it was, as I said, my first time using Restream. So there is a little bit of technical issue with that, but I do intend to be able to use that more regularly. So I'm looking forward to being able to have more lives, more events, and things to be able to share with you to help you on your spiritual journey. So I thank you again for watching, and I wish you all very many blessings, and may you walk with spirit. Bye for now.